Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to the show. This is Jules, Small Space Gardening. Tonight we're going to talk about the advantages of container gardening, specifically for vegetables. If you're watching live, 6:30 every Wednesday, there should be a chat to your right, whatever way. If you're looking at the replay, drop comments down there for me. Questions or suggestions, either one. I'm a humble feller. All right, so let's start this first before we get into the advantages of container gardening. Let's look at what I have going on right now. Now, this is Zone 7B, and we still have a lot of critters in play here. Usually we go around the horn with just collard greens, but we expanded quite a bit this year. You're looking at some sage and some lettuce. And you'll see some mixed Asian greens, various herbs on the end, such as oregano, some thyme, some marjoram. And there's actually some chives in the back of this. So, what we have, if you take a look at this, you see all these mixed greens. That's a giant red mustard, and a butter crunch, and a romaine. Those three together are basically the foundation of our salads, which we've been eating on that all fall, and now of course technically we're in winter and they're performing quite well. And then you see our mixed Asian greens. That has tatsoi, red Asian mustard, green Asian mustard. There's actually some Chinese cabbage tucked in there. And then an isolated pot of choy. That's a pak choy. That's a Lee Ren choy that is shorter than a typical choy. And that is an airplane flying on a cloudy day with 70% chance of rain right this minute. They must have somewhere to be. And you see over here on the end, we have a variety of sage. We have a variegated sage, that's that tri-colored one, purpley. And then there's a golden edge sage. And then a beer garden sage. The green one is actually, I suppose, propagated in Germany, given its name. Well, that's pretty cool to have. Greek oregano. Some thyme, English thyme, that's a brand new plant for this year. And then marjoram. The marjoram is actually tender perennial, so that moves in and out of my garage, which is warmer, along with that little small container of chives there. Now let's talk about this church bell going off. Is it 9? I don't know. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the advantages of container gardening. Now, I've been gardening this property for 18 years, and I've used containers in the past, but not to the degree that we did it this year. You can see here, for example, these whiskey barrels. You can see how long I've had those if you look closely. They're pretty worn out, but I just kind of make it work best can. They're still in service. Those are blueberry bushes in there, by the way, 2 different varieties. So, the advantages of container gardening. Well, first of all, you got a lot more control over your soil since it is contained. And also, since it's up off the ground, it helps you to deal with slugs in particular. They're just easier to see and easier to pluck off and all that kind of thing. It's also easier to tell about the water conditions simply by dipping your finger in there. You get a good feel for it. And you do have to, by the way, if you've never grown a lot in containers, you do have to pay attention to water because they will dry out quicker than in the ground. Our setup here, I have cinder blocks down, and that's 8 inch. rise, and then the pallets are 4 inches. So you're a foot off, you're 12 inches off the ground to begin with, and then of course depends on your pot size, but some of this stuff is a couple feet off the ground, 2.5 feet or so. And it makes it easier to get to, like I'm doing. You can sit in a chair and there it is. Very easy on your back, which is one of the reasons I tested this out this year. And we're getting more pallets, and I'm probably going to expand a lot of the operation to this style of gardening because of those advantages. I can keep track of the water. I know exactly what's in that soil. It's easier on my back to deal with. And number 4, weeding is a breeze, very much a breeze. Drawbacks, of course, you got to water more often. And then 2, in the fall, you can see all these trees around here. This stuff gets full of leaves. And the big leaves, not a problem, but pine needles, the willow oak leaf, that singular leaf, those little chopper seed things, all that crap gets in there. However, since it's raised, you just sit down, grab yourself a cup of tea, pick through your plants, make it look picture pretty. Now, what could you do with this stuff? Well, you could do this in ground too, but you could organize, say, I've got 3 pallets of plants here. I've got 4. It's 3. So I got 3 pallets of plants here. So like this, you can make 1 pallet like that's your herb garden. You make another pallet like, okay, that's my salad garden. And then you can make another pallet, say that's your salsa garden. So you actually can, you can organize methodically what you're growing where, and its specific purpose, instead of just, I think I'll try this and I'll try that. You can keep it together. We kind of have that going on here, actually. This red mustard and the romaine and the butter crunch, that's our salads. And then our Libra choy and our mixed Asian greens, that's for a stir fry. Now keep in mind, we have more than these pallets right now in play. We have Chinese cabbage over there in the raised bed there, as well as some more red mustard, some green onions, and some overwintering carrots that we pull every now and then. And then to my left over here, we still have a couple of Brussels sprout plants to pull. And I got some collard greens over there, some really robust parsley in the ground right now. And then some peas. With the peas, drop me a comment, Zone 7B, what's the best pea to grow? Because I'm about done with these early Alaska peas. They're driving me crazy. They come up, they don't do anything. I don't know. Now, if you stumbled across this, this is part of a Wednesday night schedule called Garden Guru TV. At 6:15 is typically MB Heritage Farms. 6:30 is this channel, Jules Small Space Gardening. 6:45 is typically Voon Chow. And at 7 o'clock, the Lala Farm finishes up the schedule for the night. The Lala Farm is straight up live with a special guest. A 1-hour show usually ends with some giveaways. MB Heritage Farms, just like it sounds, they're very, very heavy on poultry, so they have a lot of good information on raising chickens and breeding chickens. Our channel is backyard gardening and some recipes, and actually a little bit of music. And then 6:45 is Voon Child, who also does backyard gardening, and her recipes are geared towards keto friendly. She's into the keto lifestyle, so if you're into keto, check out Voon Child. All right, now we're gonna finish this up, something I've been doing for 6-7 years, like this right here. Show the YouTube version. Now keep in mind, guys, we're on the radio now, KB Radio. Coco's been on there consistently. Yeah, I would make her a theme song, but G-May's got the theme song. It's got a 3-year contract. We'll see how that works out. But there's a tradition on the Unarchaeologist show.
Okay.
We always end with peace.
Okay.
So we're good. There's peace, y'all. You're from Bama. She's from Bama, so the y'all will just kind of roll out.
Okay, yeah.
It's really a W in there. So anyway.
Peace wall.
Maybe. So we'll do it together. This is not rehearsed. 3, 2, 1. Peace, y'all. Boop. Boop. That's it. Love you, kids. That's a 2. 3, 2, 1. Peace, y'all. Don't move. Don't move. This is messing up the focus. How did we meet? So, what made you do that?
Red's feeling frisky.
Red, you are exploring everything, huh? Are you looking for a way to get out of here? Is that what it is? Really? You don't need to leave? You can do that. Red, do not. If you get on my beer, we're going to have a problem. And if you on my table.
Get down.
Just jump.
Good beans, Red.
Red, a mess. She likes exploring though.